Now, some pupils who are struggling with maths have been thrown a lifeline. The Basic Education Department has instructed government schools to promote grade 7, 8 and 9 pupils who fail mathematics this year. That's provided they get at least 20% for the subject and meet the other requirements for promotion. This includes passing all other subjects. Grade 9 pupils who get below 30% for maths will be compelled to enroll for maths literacy next year. The department says the move is to assist the many pupils who would have otherwise been held back for failing the subject. Education expert Professor Mary Metcalfe joins us now to discuss this further. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it, Prof. Firstly, tell me, what do you think about this move by the Education Department?
I think that there are strong educational arguments that can be made to support it. And I think that the current wave of anger that's being expressed in social media and in printed media about this is based on a misunderstanding of what the policy is doing. It's not saying that a 20% pass in maths is acceptable, far from it. All that it's saying that, given that in grade 10, at the end of grade 9, learners are going to choose between doing maths lit and maths, that learners in 7 and 8 and 9 should not be held back if maths is the only subject that they're going to be failing, if they're not going to be doing maths formally from grade 10. They'll be doing maths lit. So it's a judgment that must be made about the promotion of a learner who's not succeeding in maths and is not going to pursue maths until matric, if it's the only subject that they're failing. That makes a great deal of sense. Of course, the underlying problem is that as a country we're not doing well in maths, and that requires interventions right from foundation phase to build opportunity to learn in maths, which many of learners succeed if they have better access to materials, to instruction.
What would you say to those who argue that we are dumbing down the education system?
You see, the dumbing down, I think, is a reaction to the view that's out there that a 20% is condoned to a pass. It's not a pass. It's simply saying that this learner is not succeeding in maths and is not going to pursue maths, but they've passed all of their other subjects, and therefore their promotion into the next grade should not be held back. I think if people understand that that's the argument, that it's not passing at 20%, hopefully people will be able to think through the benefits of this policy. There are also real challenges in terms of the consequences of this policy, and the real challenge is going to be met by teachers, particularly in grade 8 and 9, who will have more learners in their class who were not able to cope with the previous year's work. You'll have a wider range of performance within the class, and that's always more challenging for teachers. To have some students that are doing well and are preparing to do maths for National Senior Certificate for matric, and some that have real conceptual foundational problems and aren't able to keep up. Teachers are the ones who will be needing support in coping with the complex and varied needs of those learners.
So let's say a pupil in grade 9 gets 20.1% for maths, is passed to grade 10, and they still want to pursue mathematics as a subject. Are they then going to be efficiently ready for tertiary education?
So it's a very good example that you've chosen. The pupil at the end of grade 9 has to choose between doing maths and maths lit. If they get 20.1%, they have very little chance of success. And that's where the professional judgment of teachers, of the school management team, needs to provide guidance to that learner to say, it's not in your best interest to attempt NSC matric in maths because you are unlikely to succeed. It's in your interest to do maths lit. If that learner wants to exercise any right they have to choose maths, they need to understand what it means in terms of their likelihood of failing in subsequent years and of not succeeding in NEC. And that career guidance at the end of grade 9 is critically important for all learners to understand what careers they are possibly contemplating, what subjects they may or may not need for that career choice, and then to understand what's realistic in terms of their performance.
All right, thank you very much for your time and insight. We do appreciate it. That was education expert, Professor Mary Metcalfe.